Welcome to the next episode of Monday Mindset Matters. These quick meet-of-the-moment episodes offer you some tools and biblical encouragement to help you, the Christian educator, no matter what role you have on campus, stay connected, stay grounded, and stay prayed up so you can be the light in the middle of this trauma-responsive movement. So, let's get right to it.
Welcome to the Society's Child podcast, where we have real conversations about being a trauma-responsive educator in the midst of a significant mental health crisis. Hi, I'm Trish Senzak, a former educator, compassion advocate, and Jesus lover, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Are you feeling confuzzled about your students' behavior and needs? You're not alone. If trauma-informed strategies leave you wondering, what's next? Don't worry. My friend, I've been there too. As a foster mom and a child of complex trauma mixed with my experience as a teacher, it's led me to finding a compassionate, whole child approach that's evidence-based, practical, and transformational, and I'm so eager to share it with you. Whether you want to connect with your students on a deeper level, create a trauma-sensitive environment, or you just need a little bit of encouragement or support, you're in the right place. So grab a drink, a pen, or your earbuds, and let's work together to create a safe and student-attuned trauma-responsive school culture. Society's children need you, so let's get started.
Hello, educator friends. I am thrilled to be here with you, and I bet you're thrilled to be at this time of year because your summer is almost here. For those of you who are taking a summer break, and for those of you that might be continuing through and teaching summer school, I pray that the tiny breaks that you get are going to be restful and you find a way to rejuvenate your soul. And today's scripture comes from Micah 6:8, and it says, "He has shown you, O people, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God." This scripture is one that stood out to me this week. There are things that we can take from this as trauma-informed educators. Number one, the first part is about justice and how we can act in a just way. And it really implies to living with a commitment to be fair, have integrity, and have justice in all dealings, and making sure that you're ensuring the actions of yourself are righteous and equitable. The second part stresses about loving mercy. And I think this lines up really well with our trauma-informed world. And it stresses the importance of compassion and kindness and love. And it calls for a deep, abiding love for mercy. And really that mercy and that attitude influences our actions towards others, towards our students, towards our coworkers, anyone on campus, and particularly when dealing with vulnerable and marginalized kiddos. And then the third part is talking about walking humbly with God. Really, this means living a life of humility and reverence before God. It involves us taking a moment to recognize our own dependence on God and how we can be humble and not think we have things under control, but that God is ultimately in control, and being humble in our conduct to Him and our reverence and our praise to Him, really maintaining a relationship that is close and obedient and hungry for the things of God. So what are we taking away from this? And here are some takeaways that I would encourage you about today. Number one, as you think about the justice, promote fairness and integrity in your classroom. So maybe we can take and create a classroom code of conduct as we think about next year and how we want to do things differently, or one step better, or one step in the direction of being more trauma-informed. Maybe even take an opportunity right now to collaborate with your students and establish a set of classroom rules that are really super fair. Ask them their thoughts and their input. That gives them a chance of buy-in. It gives them a chance to speak into how your classroom is run. And this gives an opportunity for them to speak into what they thought was fair and what they thought could be better, or how it can actually empower them to create a sense of ownership and commitment to that same justice that we might have within the classroom environment. Number two, I would encourage you to create and cultivate compassion and kindness, which this is the love mercy part. The action step here would be thinking about restorative practices. I know for me, I've messed up a ton in my relationships or with people, interactions that I've had. And so I'm often looking for places to do what I call rupture and repair, where I've ruptured the relationship. Where can I personally take responsibility and go make amends and repair that relationship? Whether the person buys it, believes it, feels it, owns it, wants it, it's not up to them to receive it. I've done my part and cleaned my side of the street. And with our students, instead of punitive measures, we can use restorative measures and justice practices, address those conflicts and address the ones that are focusing more. Instead of being punitive, we can focus more on healing and making amends rather than punishing. And then that fosters a compassionate and supportive classroom atmosphere. Number 3, we can encourage humility and reverence. And this is the part of the scripture that talks about walk humbly with God. The action step here is to model and teach empathy and humility with our kids. That way we can model it for them and then they can see it in our interactions. And this is done through active listening, acknowledging mistakes, cleaning up our side of the street, showing genuine interest and care for students' lives, or incorporating those mindfulness techniques so we're thinking about how it feels to walk in their shoes, or reflective practices that can help students develop any of these empathetic traits. And by incorporating these principles into our teaching practices and into our classroom atmosphere, we create that nurturing and sweet, just atmosphere and environment that really supports the holistic development of all students, particularly those who have experienced trauma. So my friends, I pray that this blesses you. I hope that this scripture is one you'll hold on to this week as you think about how you can walk around and you can develop things in a fair way with mercy and compassion and humbly walk with God, craving your relationship with Him. Have a great week, my friends, and I pray that this is the end of your week for your school year, that you go into your summer blessed and find ways to refresh and work on your preparation for next year. I hope you found something encouraging and inspiring in this episode of Monday Mindset Matters. It is my hope that these episodes meet you right where you are, because your Monday mindset matters. More importantly, your mindset matters all the time. Remember, stay connected, stay grounded, and stay prayed up. Our kids depend on it. If you're looking for ways to build more peace in your career, I've created a list of 75 affirmations based on 25 Bible scriptures, and I'd love to share it with you and help you keep your sanity. You can go to trishz.com/Bible-AFFS. That's AFFS for affirmations. I'll also leave the link in the show notes for you too. Until next time, my friend, stay grounded, stay regulated, and stay prayed up. Hey, amazing educators, thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and leave a review. Even better, share this episode with a colleague. And hey, I'd love to connect with you on social media. You can even join my Facebook group for some extra support and a dash of inspiration. I've left all the links in the show notes. Until next time, my friend, remember, you're not alone on this journey. You've got this. Keep making a difference and stay teach-tastic.